Good evening and welcome to SAFC Fan TV and another edition of the Sunday Bunch Live. I believe I'm having problems with my camera and my internet connection, but I've been told you can hear me and maybe not see me, which is a good thing for some of you.
Very positive.
Not for the ladies, though. So on the show tonight, with myself, we have Dino, we got Jacob Kirkbride, way down south, we got Michael Bowers, we have the Mad Mistake, and welcome to our new member, Jack Dodds. Give him a round of applause. Hey! Or don't give him a round of applause. Hey!
There you go.
There you go. That'll do. We got there in the end. Well, I don't know. Are we all right? Are we getting there or not? Are we?
No,
on?
you just keep frozen.
Very professional. We are live. Well, we are live on the on our YouTube channel, which means the live chat is available if you want to contribute to the show. Get yourself in there, and we'll do our best to read out the comments. So we're going to start with a 2-2 draw. MK Dons 2, Sunderland 2. I've just got to kick the there you go, the chat off. MK Dons 2, Sunderland 2. It was a draw, played away. Overall, what did you think of the game? We'll start off with Jacob Kirkbride down south.
2 points dropped once again, I'm afraid. Looking at it on a more deeper level today, waking up this morning, I think I was even more annoyed, to be honest. I think it still hasn't really sunk in, to be honest. These last two league results against Gillingham and MK Dons could further down the line, we'll look back on these two and think, if we just got over the line and got all three, would that have potentially got us into a promising position and a promotion place at the end of the season, automatic promotion, or potentially even playoffs at this rate? Will we make the playoffs? Who knows? But yeah, on an attacking point of view, I thought we looked all right yesterday, but once we got that first goal, it reminded me a lot of the Jack Ross days where we get that first goal and we are so happy to invite pressure from the opposition, and they got their rewards from that. 2 goals that they scored, we weren't closing down well enough, although Cameron Jerome's goal, I still believe, was miles.
Your best mate.
What's that, Jack?
Then your best mate, Cameron Jerome.
I don't know what was worse yesterday, our closing down in the first half or my potty mouth on the live stream, to be honest.
Your potty mouth.
Very naughty.
No,
I would still say the closing down, because at least Jacob's potty mouth actually gave us some entertainment.
Right.
It's not normally my character, but yeah.
Just very quickly before we start, because I did forget actually, we got to say a happy birthday to Acacia Cameron Jude, 19 today. Big round of applause, Acacia. Woo! Big fan of the show. Happy birthday to you. I hope you've had a great day, and I hope you've got spoilt and lots of prezzies and stuff like that. We got to give a shout out to One Rovers Vlog. Says welcome, Jack lad. So there you go. That's Charlie at One Rovers Vlogs. Also on the chat, Lauren Kenny. Don't forget, of course, Lauren. Our thoughts are definitely with you there, Lauren. Through this time.
Yeah.
And so she's on there. Finn is there as well. David Walker, John O84. Tony Lee, my pal Tony Lee. Hello, Monkey and the lads. There you go. So 2-2. A draw. Oh, Mad Mistake. What did you think overall?
Here we go.
Desmond 2-2, Desmond 2-2. Well, it was one of those games, wasn't it? Game of 2 halves, I thought. The first half, apart from the first 5 minutes where I thought we played decent, and Charlie White again, brilliant finish. One touch, Charlie White puts the ball in the back of the net. I thought the team went missing. They went missing in the first half. I thought it was slow, sloppy. I think the 4-2-2-2 doesn't work for me. I don't like it. I hope he doesn't, persist with it for too long. And, when you go 1-up in the first 5 minutes, you think there, a bit of confidence, you're going to grow with confidence. But what do we always seem to do? We seem to take our foot off the pedal, let the other team back in, and MK Dons were like a different class. After that, scored 2 goals. For me, one was offside. The other one, they had 3 shots at Burge, and did he save it 3 times? And they had 3 players in the box. Where the hell was our defenders? terrible defending. First half was shocking. I don't know what Lee Johnson said to them at half time, but after the first 10 minutes of the second half, we came into the game quite well and we started to play decent football. And by the end, I was really disappointed not to take 3 points. The referee was absolutely shocking. We had 2 clear penalties, easily clear penalties. We should at least get one of them, surely. One of them. Do you think a bit of luck would go your way? The referee was absolutely appalling. But at the end of the day, we need to take our own chances. And McGeady had a couple of good chances, and right at the death, he could have stolen 3 points. But it's just not good enough. It's just not good enough. We can complain about referees, yes, but the defending has to be better, and we have to be awake. We have to perform for 90 minutes of a game, not just for about 60 minutes of a match, because we go missing 20, 30 minutes of every single game, and that's when we let the goals in and we put ourselves up against a brick wall. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. We will not make the top 2 at all. I've been saying it all season. We're not going to make it unless Lee Johnson can embed these new players. Like Jones came on, I thought looked really good yesterday again. He must start. He has to start next match. Disappointed.
Oh, so to all your time to say you were disappointed. Good lad. Right, we've got to... I've got a problem with my internet this side. Apparently, I keep freezing. I know
it's not just you and Nate who've got a problem with.
Yeah, I know. Apologies for that. I was just about to read a nice comment out about you as well, Jack. We'll just move on though. Chris Scott on the chat says Jack's brilliant. So there you go. Well, remains to be seen. Different people on the chat as well are saying the takeover's done. So I don't know if that's just happened, that it's just gone through, but I'm sure somebody somewhere I'll have a quick look online and see what's happening there. Right. Well, was going to go, Michael. We'll go to you. I think Jacob's going to have a look because he's been on 2-2. What did you think? Was you happy with the performance, or what do you reckon?
Aspects of it, yeah. I was quite harsh on my own channel assessing the game, but when I look back at it, we did actually create more than enough chances to win that, especially in the second half. We had more than our fair share of chances. My disappointment again, and I know I'm probably boring people to death with it, but it's the last 2 games we've essentially dropped 4 points because we've been in front 3 times over the last 2 games and haven't seen them out. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not expecting that we're not going to concede goals, because yes, we are going to concede goals. But I felt that, yes, okay, even if you say the second one's offside, I still felt the first one was awful from a defensive point of view, where I will stick up for Lee Burge. I think he's not as bad as people make him out to be, but I do think there was an element into that first goal where he parried the ball back into the danger zone. But that's not just him at fault there. I felt positionally a lot, we were drawn out all over the place, but maybe that's good play from MK Dons. They'll probably see it that way. I was just disappointed that we, from a winning position, we then had to rescue a point. But you could argue if we'd have put one of those other chances away, I wouldn't be saying that, which would be a valid argument. So, like I said to you, that's exactly like I'm with Terry on this. Like I said, keep saying with top 2 that I don't think it'll happen, and the exact reason it won't happen is because of results like Gillingham, MK Dons, Plymouth, or Northampton, and in results going further back than that. It's those type of games will cost us in the end. So there are aspects of the performance that were promising, but we need to defend a lot better than that if we're going to have a chance of doing anything this season.
See, there's a few people have said about, Burge being at fault, and I didn't see it. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll go to Dino, because I know Dino's got strong views on this. MK Dons 2, Sunderland 2. The man he's Mr. Doom and Gloom, but let's see how he saw the 2-2. Dino?
I do think Lee Burge is getting made a bit of a scapegoat for the simple fact that people don't seem to rate him, but they rate Remy Matthews, which I still don't understand, because Remy Matthews has made more mistakes than Lee Burge, and even more costly mistakes than Lee Burge. I think Lee Burge, for the first goal, I thought, for all we know, it's a shot from outside the box. There's people in his way. Might have seen it late. You just don't know. People just look and go, oh, he should have done better. But you don't know what he sees. He might have seen the ball late. He's pushed it out. He's made another save after that, which he probably had no right in saving. And then they've tapped the ball in. So you can't really... Lee Bird's made a double save, and people are still saying it was his fault. Not a chance. Their second goal, I thought it was offside at the time, but from the angle we got, you can't tell. But it looked like it was offside. People are blaming Lee Bird for that. I don't understand how you can blame Lee Bird for someone who's had a shot, and Cameron Jerome somehow just nicks his foot out and gets on the end of it, and it diverts him from 3 yards out. What do you want Lee Bird to do from 3 yards out when someone's took a shot and someone just gets the foot in the way? I just don't get it. I thought first 5 minutes, like you say, we scored the goal. It was well worked. Good goal by Wyke. I thought Wyke had a really good game, holding up, playing everything. And then obviously we're sat back. MK Dons came onto her. Second half, I mean, a lot of the first half, it was mainly just hoof ball because they were doing the centre back to the right mid, and their right mid was getting the ball all the time, bringing it down. He had loads of time. I thought Vokins didn't have the best of games, but I let the lad off. It's his first start.
That's very good of you. Very good of you.
Well, he's only
very
young.
generous, Dino.
Yeah, he's young. First game, and their right winger seemed to be quite good going past him. Second half, I thought we played better. I thought we kept the ball a lot better. I was impressed with our attacking threat. We had 9 shots on target. I mean, we were going ooh and oh. Normally we're just shouting that we're giving the ball away.
So Karen does.
Yeah. Ooh, ah. Right, we'll have less of that, Jack Dodds. Karen, Jack's having a right go at you here. Right, come on.
But for our second goal, I'm trying to remember our second goal actually. Who scored the second goal? Oh, Luke O'Nien. Short corner. It was short, even though I hate short corners. McGeady step over, takes a shot, and it was going well wide. Luke O'Nien. Everyone's giving
a pass. It was a pass.
It was a shot.
It was a pass. Everyone's giving Luke O'Nien.
Everyone's giving Luke O'Nien stick. Everyone's saying Luke O'Nien's not a centre midfielder, but he scored from centre midfield. So people are just never going to be happy because I've seen people blaming Max Power. Max Power's not a right back, but yet nothing came from his side. I thought Max Power had a solid game, but overall, I'm disappointed with the result. But I thought the performance was better. We created more chances. At the end of the day, it was the quality we let down.
Right, there you go. Quickly back on the chat down here. We've got to say hi to Travis Conlon. It's a young lad who me and Cam were doing the Springwell round a few months ago, and we said hello in our van down there. That sounds so wrong. Cod's Vlogs. Jack is a superb addition. A hard-working lad, deserves every good thing that happens. So there you go.
Yeah, Ben, thank you. I did leave
there. So then, on to Jack. MK Dons 2, Sunderland 2. We were all full of hope when we went down there. Hang on a sec before we do. Terry wants to jump in quickly. Go on,
Terry.
I just want to say one thing. I thought Max Power had one of his worst games in the Sunderland shit yesterday. I thought it was absolutely terrible. And for me, we've got to buy a right back, simple as.
I didn't think he played that bad. Nothing came down his side, in my opinion.
Both
goals came from the right side. I was left.
Terry.
Blind because his passing was absolutely atrocious and his crossing was absolutely diabolical. I could pass better than that. I could cross the ball better than that, for God's sake, and I'm hopeless.
Terry.
Right, wait, even Michael wants in.
Does that mean Dino's blind because he's got a different opinion?
No, he just didn't say. I don't know. I give up. No comment. No comment. I don't want to get into personal things. I don't want to get into
Power isn't a natural right back. I'd rather have him than Conor McLaughlin personally.
No, I think Max Power's just. I think people have blinkers with Max Power. I think Dano's in love with him. Michael's in love with him. I think Conor McLaughlin's a much better right back.
I hate him, to be honest.
I'm in love with Max Power. I give Max Power so much criticism when he played centre mid. At right back, I don't think he's put much wrong.
I would agree with that as well, Dino. I would agree with that.
I can't remember anything before Monday gone last week, so I've got a short memory. I'm getting old. So
you can't remember the game.
You're not getting old, Terry. You've been old for a while.
Anyway, we was yesterday. I was all getting carried away because I thought, we beat MK Dons. We won 3-0. Dino was being all sensible. So Jack, MK Dons 2, Sunderland 2. What did you think overall?
thought the overall performance was actually quite good, to be honest. We created loads and loads and loads of chances. It's just that same problem we seem to have quite a lot, where we'll have to have this 20 to 30 minute period of the game will just completely drop off. Unfortunately for us, it was just after we conceded the goal, and that's when both of their goals came. And we just kind of, I don't know if we invited the pressure or if we just couldn't quite match up to them. I think we might have missed Scown a little bit in midfield, who I've criticised a lot recently, although I do think he has been significantly improved the past few games. We might have missed someone in the midfield just to run things in a sense. Leopard got completely overrun yesterday. Player I've praised quite a lot. But yeah, it was like 15 to 20 minutes, 15, 20, 30 minute period where we just kind of completely fell off. And that's when MK Dons put so much pressure on us, and we ended up cracking twice and conceding twice. And then we're chasing the game. But I think the main problem's got to be taking chances. Normally we don't create enough, but yesterday we created absolutely loads. I mean, McGeady right at the end. I think White could have had a hat-trick going into half-time. I'm sure there were other players in there. We had nine shots on target, 20 shots overall. That's double, treble what we normally get. We created so many chances yesterday, we just didn't score. But as I say, it's that 15, 20, 30-minute period we just completely fell off and let MK Dons at us. Did we just drop off naturally because we'd scored? I don't think so. I don't think it was intentional at all. I think we just didn't quite match up to them, and I think we lost the midfield battle.
Right, okay. Back on the chat down here. Max Power is Sunderland's best crosser from right back easily. Terry, do you want to respond to that?
Not yesterday. Yesterday was terrible. I'm not going off past history. I'm just going off yesterday's performance.
All right, okay.
His worst performances.
Right, fair enough. DJ Sizzler says Terry has been on the cans again. You on the cans?
When's he not?
What are you on?
Hey!
There you go. Right, okay then. Well, it was mentioned that what we're pointing at now was mentioned.
What a Sunderland holiday I have when you get to my age? There's all you got to look forward to.
Yeah.
He loves getting his word in tonight, Terry, doesn't he?
Well, the referee has been mentioned as being shocking. So there was a couple of incidents, and I'm going to start with the handball. Basically, was it or was it not a penalty, Dino?
100% a penalty. I said at the time, I went, that's got to be a handball. They showed the replay. I'm sure they showed the replay, and his hand is up there. I know players jump with their arms up, but when your arm's out there, if your hand's there, you've got a bit of a case. But when it's out there above your head, you've got no case at all. And I think the referee made a terrible decision. But we shouldn't look at it as we drew the game because of the referee. We drew the game because we couldn't take with chances. I mean, John Jones had a great chance in the second half. Keeper made a really good save, but I think that's when Terry says Charlie White got brought down. And I thought Charlie White went down a bit easy, in my opinion, but John Jones followed up. Keeper made a good save. We just didn't take with chances. That was the problem. Like you say, Charlie White had chances in the first half. He ballooned it over the bar. But it was nice to see we create the chances. Just hopefully we'd take them in the next game.
Right, fair enough. Did anybody, Jacob? Did you have a look about this takeover thing? Have you found anything? No.
Yeah, an interesting tweet.
I'll say that as a no.
No, wait, no. Let me finish. All right. An interesting.
You're that bold, Jacob.
Hey, just joined. Pipe down, mate. Pipe down. It was actually tweeted from Michael Bowers this afternoon. Actually, well, he quote tweeted it. Scrolling down to it now. Apparently certain Sunderland AFC staff had a Zoom meeting in the last few days and told to keep it close to their chest for their job's sake. But it's good news. Donald's clearly got some dodgy bank statements knocked up and the takeover's complete this week. Whether there's much truth in that, I'm not so sure. I think I'd have to, for me, see more clarification than that. But it is positive news at the moment, but then again, I don't know how much truth there is actually in that tweet that was put out this evening.
Right, okay. Well, while you're on, Jacob, the handball, we saw it, of course, we were watching it on the live stream.
Yeah.
Penalty, Stonewaller, or?
Absolute stone. What Dino was saying, I mean, his arm was literally up in the air, and when it's like close to your chest, I understand when you're jumping up for a header, but when it's like out and up like that, Stonewall. I mean, me, you, and Dino, we called it straight away. How that wasn't given, I have no idea. But the referee overall, it's not going on a Sunderland perspective, but even for them, I thought very poor all game. To be honest, I mean, was Luke O'Nien lucky to stay on the field yesterday? I mean,
all right, Jacob.
No, I don't want to be one-sided. I want to. Let's go to Jack because he does refereeing for a living.
No, wait. No, the thing is, Jacob, I said we got a couple of points we're going to bring up about the referee. So we're doing the handball.
The list goes on.
We're going to go to the Luke O'Nien
I have
thing,
more, but it'll probably
so
take
you
all
just
night.
you want to jump in already. Terry, you want in there?
Has Jack not got a proper job, like?
No,
Still at school, man.
At a certain age, certain full-time education,
of course,
Terry. If your brain goes as far back as you can remember.
Worse than Mike Dean, man.
So, all right, then apparently, Jack, you do a bit of refereeing. Was this a Stonewall penalty or what?
Well, my first instinct when I saw it was, yes, that looks like a penalty, but I couldn't possibly deeply criticise the referee because I've made mistakes many times. You know, something's happened, you thought, I probably missed that there. So I'm not going to go into too much detail, to be honest, but yeah, of course, it did look like a penalty. Terry, I can see you're not happy, but I'm not happy with you either.
You can't blame referees. All referees stick up for themselves, stick up for their own little clan, don't they? Let's protect all the referees.
Have you ever done it, Terry? Have you ever done it?
No, but I would do a better job than that referee yesterday.
Just don't mind me.
I would run around with a pint in my hand and sort them out. I can still run faster
than well, Michael, the handball, a few dodgy decisions from the referee. I mean, obviously Jack knows nothing, but what did you think? Stonewaller?
I didn't see it as much first happen, but when I looked at it back, yes, it does look like a penalty. But we've probably been fortunate with some of the decisions we've got over the course of the season. If you look, didn't we get a penalty against Ipswich at home for something similar to that?
Was it not when someone got tripped? Was that Hume got tripped over? Was it not?
No, I'm trying to
Peterborough
think it was. No, that was no. The Ipswich one was basically where I think one of our players had a shot and it bounced off one Ipswich player and then went onto the other person's hand.
Danny Graham, and it hit the post.
Something like that. Yeah. But I don't know. Like at the end of the day, we created enough chances to win the game, irrespective of what the referee does. Unfortunately, it's just how garbage referees are in this league, and it's not even just for us; it's for a lot of teams. I think a lot of fans I've seen in this league have said the same thing. League One refs are atrocious. And until the FA do something about that, it's not going to change, unfortunately.
Yeah, but is that not something to do with obviously your Premier League referees will be paid a lot more money, so you get a bit of a better caliber of referee.
Only part-time,
you know what I mean?
As well.
So,
what
level are you at, Jack? Are you schoolboy stuff?
Only at
Sunday
the amateur level. Only at the amateur, yeah, Sunday league.
Don't care. Sounds better. Get him refereeing.
Mike wants to be the star of the show all the time.
Go on, Terry. Go on.
How much do you reckon these League One part-time referees get paid?
They don't get paid a full-time. Sorry, I know that they all do it on the side. It's nowhere near enough to support a full-time income at League One.
40 grand each or something, yeah.
I couldn't put the exact statistic on a League One referee, but I know that you can only go full-time when you get a championship level. I do know that.
So they'll be getting paid a lot more than me, getting paid a lot more than Willie and Dino and everybody else on this panel. So they should be doing a decent job, really, to be honest.
There's no way a League One referee will be getting 40 grand. No way.
It's only a part-time job anyway. I'm
only guessing. I mean, full-time referees get 60,000, 100,000, 200 grand, whatever they get, I don't know.
Premier League, about 100 grand a year, I think.
100 grand a year, so aye. They're probably still on more than me.
Right, well, anyway, so what did you think, Terry? Blatant handball? Well,
do you really need to ask me?
Well, I'm asking you. I would like you to have your opinion.
I've already given you my opinion too. Blatant penalties for me, simple as. If VAR was involved, which it's not, them two would be blatant penalties in the Premier League, simple as. No excuse from the referees. Referee was there watching it. You know, at the end of the day, referee should be trying to do his best as a referee. Should be ambitious, trying to get into the Premier League, and fools like him will never get to the Premier League. Never. Doing them kind of refereeing decisions. He needs to go back to school, drop down to probably drop down to the Conference League or something. Maybe he's going to get a lesson off Jack, we should bring you in to teach him how to referee properly.
Well, I'm not quite at the standard, Terry, yet, so I might have to give it a few, yeah.
I'm sure your eyesight's better than his.
Right, well, on the chat, Stephen Hensel says, friend of ours, hello, Stephen, how you doing?
Hello, Stephen.
Apparently, the referee's £150 a game. What I'd like to do while we're on as well, because this is pretty close, and I'm sure it'll be a first if it happens. We got 31 likes and we got 21 dislikes. Let's see if we can get more dislikes than the likes. Hit the thumbs down there. That's what you got to do. So we got another controversial decision by the referee. We had an MK Dons supporter contact us today, and he was saying, he enjoyed the live commentary, but he thought Luke O'Nien should have been sent off. Was we lucky to keep Luke O'Nien on the pitch, Michael?
I was nervous, but I'm always nervous every time. Whenever we've got potential to have a player sent off. If it was the other way around, we would probably be wanting a second. It would have been a second yellow, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Second yellow.
Yeah, I thought it would have been. It depends. It depends if he's thinking that he actually clipped the back of the lad that actually went down for the free kick. So you could argue. I suppose it's one of those that could go one way or the other. It depends which side you're on. If you're the team that could potentially lose a player, you'd probably say it would have been soft for it to happen. If it was the other way around, you probably would have said it's second yellow.
Well, the way I saw it, I mean, like I said, we were doing the live stream yesterday, and the guy, the MK Dons player, actually chucks his leg out, right, when he's going past. Actually, if you watch it, he chucks his leg out to hit Luke O'Nien and go over, and that's what he does. What's one to look out for? Mad mistake. Were we lucky to keep Luke O'Nien on the pitch?
Well, I think the referee went in at half time and said, I made two absolute balls of mistakes. I should have given Sunderland 2 penalties, and he made amends in the second half by not sending off Luke O'Nien. That's just my opinion. I think that's what referees do.
Agreed.
I think when they're going at half time, if they make a right cock up in the first half, they try and balance it out a little bit in the second half. Unfortunately, we didn't get a penalty in the second half, or we didn't get anything close to being a penalty in the second half, so he couldn't even out the scales a little bit. But that was his way of making amends.
But that happens, and we'll throw this one at Jack. Like, how many times have you seen a referee, he'll give a penalty and then he'll even it up, and it's too much of a coincidence. It happens far too many times for it not to be something in that, a player can get sent off and then he'll send someone else off. Jack?
Well, I'll start by saying I think we were lucky to not see Luke O'Nien sent off yesterday. When you're on a yellow card, and the type of trip it was, I was half expecting to see the second yellow card and the red come on. But one thing I will say is that you are categorically told in your training straight away that if you make a mistake, it shouldn't influence any of your further decisions. And I never do. If I feel as if I made a mistake or something's been a bit harsh, I don't try to even up later in the game. You put it behind you and you just try to get every decision right. So I couldn't possibly say that I think that's what the referee was doing. I can understand when people do see it that way, but I will say that I think we probably were quite fortunate potentially to see Luke O'Nien stay on the pitch yesterday. I would definitely say that.
But do you not think it's a bit of a coincidence that referees?
If you want to view it as a coincidence, Philly, you can view it as a coincidence.
Well, it just happens too many times for me. It does. Sorry?
Did I hear that wrong? Did Jack say he was told categorically to make it up? No.
The opposite.
The next half, and to make amends for the mistakes. Is that what you said?
No, the other way around, Terry. If you make a mistake, you move on. You forget about it.
Sorry, I can't hear that. So.
You're getting old. That's why you're getting old, Terry.
I'm already
the Football Association. If you're listening to that, get in contact.
I'm already old.
It shows how much attention you're paying, Terry.
I know I'm watching you.
All right.
Hey, slinging man.
Dino.
Hello.
Were we lucky to keep Luke O'Nien? Look on 9. Was we lucky to keep him on the pitch?
It was a funny one. I feel like Luke O'Neill knew what he was doing, because when he was chasing him, when he was already on, the first yellow card was a yellow card blatant. He was a tactical foul. He knew they were catching him on the counter. He brought him down, yellow card. I had no problems with the second one. They were kind of on the counter. He chased him, but what he done was, when he was running, he went like that to show the referee he's not trying to clip him. But I think Luke O'Neill got close enough to clip him. But I think their player stuck his leg out on purpose to make it look more realistic. So in a way, it was like Luke O'Neill knew what he was going to do, but their player wanted to get him sent off, so he stuck his leg out and went down. But later on in the game, he dived against Vokins. He tried to get a penalty. He tried to dive against Vokins. So, I mean, it works. It swings and roundabouts. I don't think he was lucky. I think both of them, like Luke O'Neill knew what he was going to do, but their player stuck his leg out as well. So it's one of them. But like you say, the referee didn't give with a pen, so it swings and roundabouts, doesn't it? We don't get a man sent off, but we don't get a pen.
The thing is, though, and again, Jack, you can respond to this. That's even though their player did stick his leg out to hit Luke O'Neill and went over, right? Had Luke O'Neill not already been booked, right? Would the referee have booked him, Jack?
I don't know, because I'm not the referee.
You're referees club.
We're sticking together, man. We've got to. Everyone hates us. We've got to stick together. No, I think looking at the challenge, it possibly is a yellow card offence, but I couldn't possibly say that the referee didn't decide to give him a yellow card because he was because he'd already given one, and with what happened earlier in the game, I couldn't possibly say that.
Well, the thing is.
You're not breaking this.
The guy, their player stuck his leg out, right? So it wasn't really a yellow card. However, he gave him a talking to, and had he not already been booked, then without a doubt, the referee would have booked him. And that's another thing that referees do, where we say they even it up, where they'll send one off, send another one off, penalty, give a penalty. That's another thing they do, where somebody's on a yellow card, they'll rethink it before they go straight, even rather than send them off, and it just happens. Jacob, Luke O'Neill, should he have gone off?
Yeah, I personally think we got away with that one. In my point of view, if you actually look at it back, the moment when we were watching it, Luke O'Neill was just expecting the referee to pull out the second yellow. I think he was surprised himself that he was staying on. I think he was ready to start walking off, to be honest. But like Dino said, in games like that, it does normally even itself out potentially. I mean, we could have had a man sent off, but then again, we ended up not getting a penalty later on in the half, and it was one of those games where we're stuck with an incompetent referee that couldn't. Let's be fair, he didn't manage the game properly overall for both sides yesterday. Poor performance, but things even itself out in that department, and in the games we've got coming up, hopefully we'll have a referee that will have more common sense and be able to just spot decisions more effectively for us to just get over the line. But we shouldn't be relying too much on referees for us to get results.
Right, fair dues. What about the new lads then? Vokins left back. Ooh. And John Jones came on as a second half substitute. We'll start with. I'll tell you what. We'll start with Dino first. Dino, what did you think to both of them?
I thought Vokins. I don't get us wrong. I think Vokins got skinned a lot. I think their right mid had Vokins in his back pocket. I thought Vokins struggled against him. But it's his first game. He'll only get better, in my opinion. Jones looked good. When Jones came on, I thought he made a massive difference. He's a better version of Gooch. He's very direct, but Gooch doesn't go past the player. He just goes sideways, whereas Jones was actually getting past players. He should have had a goal, but keeper made a great save. I really think we should be starting Jones. I think he could help with going forward, because I think he's so direct. He's got pace and he's got a bit of power. I've seen people try to barge him off the ball and he wasn't going down. Well, then the only two who started. I don't know where Carl Winchester is, man, because he wasn't even on the bench.
Injured.
Oh, is he
Hamstring.
injured? Is he?
Yeah.
Is he injured? Is he? But he's got a bit of a headache now because Jones has come in. I mean, do you play Vokins or do you play Hume when Hume comes back? Because I think McFadzean's going to be the
still
third
out there,
choice.
isn't he?
I think he'll be the third choice. Yeah, but I think they'll help her 100%. We definitely needed a left back, and I think Jones will be really good.
All
I'm
right,
done.
fair dues. Jack, good. Jack at Vokins at left back and John Jones. What did you think to the pair of them?
Vokins was a very disappointing debut. Haven't seen many that's went worse. But with how exciting of a prospect he seems and how highly respected he seems to be from Southampton, how great of Southampton's academy actually is, more of the mindset of I'm putting it down. His poor performance. I'm putting it down to that. He was maybe a little bit nervous, or maybe didn't quite understand his role, especially with playing in what's essentially a 4-4-2 with the two wingers pushed further up and further inside. It might be a bit confusing for someone who's only been training the club for a few days or a week or so to come to terms with. So, you know, it really wasn't a great job. He put us under a lot of pressure and he didn't really offer us anything going forward. I was really hoping he was going to be the answer because Callum McFadzean, it's clear that he can't play properly in a back four. He doesn't have the defensive capabilities, but it was really disappointing from Vokins. Hopefully, as I say, it's one of those things where it's just he's a bit nervous or he doesn't quite understand his role. Things weren't quite clicking. I thought when Deon Sanderson came on, we looked a lot more defensively stable, then a lot better. And I would probably look to play him until Vokins looks a bit more showed up. But Jones, to me, is a player that has got to come in now. He had a great debut on Tuesday night, and then he came in yesterday. He seems like he's the only player we've got who's got the pace to just knock it past the player and run. And defenders just couldn't cope with him. There was a few times when he just knocked it. I think there was a moment where he knocked it between two players and run. He got there first. He just got this incredible pace. He's a real flair player. So for me, Jones has really impressed us, and I think I'll be looking to start him anytime I can. Seeing a bit of a debate about McGeady on Friday night on Twitter. Should he be dropped? For me, I don't necessarily think McGeady should be playing week in, week out. He hasn't impressed us enough. I think Jones is the perfect replacement, and to me, he gets on the team sheet every time he's fully fit now. At least for 5 to 10 games.
Well, it shows you what I know because I thought McGeady was the man of the match yesterday. Yeah, myself. But,
he didn't have too much McGeady yesterday, but I think recently he's not been up to it.
Well, Acacia Cameron Jude says Jordan Jones needs to start, which is basically what you're saying there, Jack. Alan Robinson on the chat says Johnson admitted he was lucky to stay on, so obviously that's look now. I didn't see Lee Johnson's interview, but there we go. Michael, the new guys, Vokins, left back, and then bringing on Jordan Jones. What did you think?
Jake Vokins, I thought, had a bit of an average debut at best. It wasn't great, but like the others have said, it's his first game. I think he's played, I don't know how many senior games he's played in his career. I think he played against Arsenal like last week or something for Southampton.
Premier League, yeah.
In the FA Cup, I presume, or in the Premier League, whichever one it was, because they play within 2 days of each other. I thought he was a bit lackluster, but again, he just needs to get used to his new surroundings and just get a couple of games to get up to speed properly. But I would imagine that he's probably in there at least until Hume comes back. Because I say, like Dino said, I think that McFadzean's going to probably be third choice, and obviously after that, I don't rate him. Jones, that obviously I didn't see the game in midweek, so this is the first time I got to watch him. Now I was impressed with him. Like the others have said, when he was trying to be hacked down, he stayed on his feet. He's got good dribbling, he's got pace, and he was getting himself in some good positions. I think obviously that it's going to take a bit of time for him to get used to it as well, because I don't think he's played all that much football over the last however many months. So, was it Jake Vokins? Not the best debut, but hopefully he'll get better. And Jordan Jones, more of that, please. Look promising.
Yeah, I must admit, I mean, Vokins, I think he had a better second half than he did first half. He didn't have a good debut.
He grew into the game.
I think he improved. Yeah. Improved, in the second half. Terry, the new signings, were you impressed or what?
Yeah, I thought Vokins was a bit iffy the first half. I thought as the game went on, he grew into his position a lot more. It's early days. I was surprised how small he actually is. But he's young. He'll learn. He'll get better.
Smaller than me.
Got more potential, obviously.
Wow.
We haven't left back at this moment in time while Denver Hume's out. So I'd stick with Wilkins, definitely. I thought he got better as the game went on. Jordan Jones, we saw him the other night. We saw him yesterday. He has loads, bags of space, wants to take men on, very direct. It's for Lee Johnson to get the rest of the team up to speed with him on his same wavelength. So for me, Jordan Jones was a better display, but at the moment, Wilkins for me is one that'll come to his own eventually. I thought, as I say, second half, he did get a lot better. So them two, decent enough.
Right. Fair enough. Jacob, the new signings, what did you think? Were you impressed or what?
Yeah, I'll start with Wilkins. I think he grew into the game definitely as the game went on, but I think in the first 45 minutes, I wouldn't say necessarily he was poor. I think it was just his decision making when he was going forward with the ball. I think his lack of communication with Geeds on the left, it was a struggle at times of who was meant to make the overlapping run to cross the ball. Was caught out a little bit at times when NK Dons came forward with the ball, but then again, he's a young lad. There's room for improvement. I think the problem he was having in the first 45 yesterday, it reminded me a lot of Luke O'Nine's debut when he played in that Charlton game, the beginning of the Jack Ross season, where I think he was trying too hard and he was trying to do too many things at once. And I think over time, we will see a decent player there. But personally, I do agree with what Jack was saying. I think Sanderson potentially coming in at left back on Tuesday night, I think that would be a good option for now, because I think Wilkins, I think he needs to be eased into the team slowly. And I think Sanderson, we've been crying out for him to start for a while now, and I thought he did very well when he came on yesterday. On to Jones, terrific. Honestly, he's got to start on Tuesday night now. Surely his pace is unbelievable. Like, their back line couldn't deal with him yesterday. And if you give him the ball for him to run onto, into space for him to take advantage of, he can do damage. And I feel it would be best, personally, if I was Lee Johnson, I would play Jones in a front three. I would still have McGeady in there, but I would have Wyke as the main striker. So Jones and McGeady playing off Wyke in a front three up top, and potentially Dan Neil being brought back into the midfield to provide the creativity. But only Lee Johnson knows what will happen on Tuesday night against Shrewsbury. But overall, I'm impressed with the new signings. I think there's definitely room for improvement there.
Right, fair enough. Oh, Daleks. Does anybody know what's the script with Rod Stewart then? Is he was he not? Is he not fit or what?
He's still coming back to full fitness.
So how long is he away from start then?
I think Johnson said in his press conference he needs at least another week. I think he said that in the presser for the MK game, but potentially might be involved next week in the squad against Doncaster. I think Tuesday will be too early for him.
So would we like to see Rod Stewart and Charlie Wyke together? Would that be a good prospect? Anybody?
That's possibly. Well, we're certainly going to have the games in a short space of time, so he's going to get game time one way or another.
Who do you want to go to?
Trying to get in there, and then we'll come to you, Jacob.
I mean, I thought O'Brien played okay yesterday. I thought he brought the ball down for the McGeady, who laid it off to Wyke. Lovely touch, flicked over the player, give it to McGeady, who set up Wyke. He had nice touches in the box. I mean, I didn't think he played that badly. I really didn't.
He did great for the first goal, mate. O'Brien.
Yeah, he did really well.
How are Terry?
Terry, go on, Terry. Go on.
Bring it on.
So a player was brilliant for one 5 second of the whole 90 minutes of a game, and he deserves a place. I don't understand what Aidan O'Brien brings to the team half the time. For me, you've got to start. We're not winning games. We're not in the top 6. We're not going to get in the top 2. So why are we sticking with the same formation, the same players, week in, week out? We bring in players. We bring them in the transfer window to improve the side. Somebody has to be dropped from this side if we want to play Rod Stewart. It has to be Aidan O'Brien for me. Only when the guy's fit, mind. I understand that. But he has to get a start. Otherwise, what's the point of bringing him in? Who are we going to drop? Are we going to drop Charlie Wyke? No. He's the top goal scorer. So it has to be Aidan O'Brien. Has to be.
Right. Well, we'll go to Jacob, then we'll come to you, Jack. Jacob?
It's a difficult one. Personally, I think I'm not O'Brien's biggest fan. I think I would have expected he would have done a lot more since he signed for us, considering he's a player that's come from a higher level in the Championship. He was playing for Millwall last season. But the situation we're in with O'Brien at the moment, I think him playing alongside Wyke, I think O'Brien and Wyke understand each other's game very well. And I think them two, as a partnership at the moment, I think's looking effective at times, but it doesn't happen enough in games. I mean, the only time we really saw the pair do well together yesterday was that moment for the first goal, which O'Brien's hold-up play was fantastic. And then after that, I felt O'Brien, he went missing in the game. But personally, I think Johnson, you'll consider when Stewart comes back from injury, I think he'll want to slowly ease him into the side, like not chuck him in at the deep end straight away. But I do think we have got a decent player in Ross Stewart. I think he'll improve over time. But O'Brien, I still think he'll be in and around the team for now, but I think he'll be a better option coming off the bench at the moment. I think we're more of a decent side to watch under Johnson, and the way how Johnson likes to play when we're playing with a three up top with one striker and two wingers playing off them.
Right. Well, Jack, quickly, then we'll go to you. Then we'll go to you, Terry. I know. Go on, Jack. Then
no,
Terry.
just something that Terry said. He doesn't say O'Brien contributes to the team. I think what O'Brien contributes to the team is that Wyke scoring goals because of him. It's no coincidence that Wyke started scoring, more or less on a goal-to-game ratio since he started playing up front next to O'Brien. Although Aidan O'Brien isn't the greatest finisher in the world, what he does do, he links up very well with other forwards. He comes deep, he works hard, he wins the ball back and he gets it forward. And so many times he's created space for Wyke to score. If the ball bounces to Wyke and he's got a little bit of space, just that brief second to work with, he will finish and he will score goals, and that's what he's been doing. The reason he's been getting that space is because of O'Brien. If you look back at a lot of Wyke's goals, it starts with Aidan O'Brien winning the ball back and giving it to someone else, linking up with someone, having a clever run to create some space. That's what Aidan O'Brien contributes to the team. As for Ross Stewart, I wouldn't want to say him up front next to Wyke because I think that's two strikers who are both exactly the same. As much as I think that Wyke isn't much of a target man, he is quite slow. He's not exactly got the most pace in the world. And I think Ross Stewart is a target man. You want two players that can bounce off each other really well. And I think O'Brien and Wyke do that really well. It's just that O'Brien's work doesn't always get appreciated and recognised because so much of it is the dog work, but O'Brien's gone because of it.
How many assists has O'Brien got this season? Anybody know?
Assists?
Yes.
I'm not talking about assists. I'm talking about times when he's been involved heavily in the build, or he's made a run that's pulled a defender away. Look at the first goal away at Wimbledon. O'Brien was linking up with Embleton really well. That causes goal. That's one off the top of my head. There's plenty more where he's won the ball back. He's made a clever run.
For Wyke. Assists for Wyke.
It's not that he's assisting him. It's that he's doing work in the build up for someone else to assist him. But it's not getting recognised.
Well, why can't other players do that who have more pace? Because for me, I watched yesterday.
O'Brien can still do it. O'Brien can still do it. I'm not saying other players can't. O'Brien can still do it. He's doing it well.
He was chasing the keeper down, and Wyke's doing the same thing, but they're both slow as old Nick. They haven't got a...
Ross Stewart's not any quicker. I don't think Ross Stewart will be any quicker.
No.
He's a target man.
I've heard he's faster. He could be,
but he doesn't look
it. He's a lot younger. He's a bit younger. He might have more pace, but we need someone with pace. If that means bringing Jones into the side,
Jordan Jones,
O'Brien, and moving somebody else. I thought McGeady did quite well yesterday when he was moved in the centre of the park.
I think McGeady had an alright game yesterday. I just think since he's came back, and I don't put it down to him, I put it down to the way that his career has went the kind of past 14 months, and then the COVID break that we had over Christmas. I put it down to that, but I think since McGeady's came back, he's not hit his pre-Parkinson form nowhere near. He was slightly better, I'll admit that yesterday, but game by game, he's not there yet.
Well, I think you're in trouble there, Jack. You could be getting detention off Terry. We've got 193
Philly.
Yes.
It's a game of opinions. It's all banter. Jack has every right to disagree with me. I don't mind one single bit. Of
course.
That is fights tonight. I was on the water now, is it?
That is what we all say. It's everybody's opinion, and we like people to voice their opinions. Anyway, 190 people watching the stream. Thank you very much to each and every one of you doing that. Yeah, right. Well, Papa John's Trophy. The draw was made on when was it? It was Saturday, was it?
Friday
I
night.
think it was. And we've drawn Lincoln at home. Friday, right? Well, we've drawn Lincoln at home, and it was well, we slightly broached on this last time, and none of us, I don't think, said Lincoln, did we? Are we happy with Lincoln at home, Dino?
Everyone's saying we should have played them away because we weren't beaten away.
Delay on this?
What? Philly?
Sorry, it must be a delay. Go on, keep going. Just keep going.
Everyone was saying that we should have played them away. I mean, last time we played them, we beat them 4-0, was it? I mean, I know we got the bounce from the new manager. We can beat them. I mean, but I know everyone wanted Tranmere. Nobody really wants to play Oxford at the minute because I'm sure they're the team in form. But, I mean, you don't know if Lincoln are going to take that competition seriously, so you don't know what side they're going to put. I don't think they'll put the full strength side out because then we'll want to go up and they won't want to risk injuries. I think
Top of the league at the moment.
Exactly, and I think we won't want to risk injuries as well. But Lincoln more so won't want to risk them anymore because they're top of the league, so then we'll want to maintain that. So they will probably put out a weakened team. We can beat them. We've beat them 4-0. I think this trophy's ours this season. I really do. I believe the trophy is ours. I know we're not playing the best, but I think this is our season for that trophy.
You've heard it.
All right, fair enough. So yeah, Lincoln at home in the semi-finals. Jacob, do we cancel our hotels or what?
No, obviously right now, sorry to burst the dream. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like any fan will be allowed to travel down to the capital. It's just is what it is. Just typical being a Sunderland fan. The year that looks like we're going to get there, no one will be allowed to go. But like Dino said, I think we're looking at the last four. We are the favourites. I personally believe we take away Lincoln's league position. I think with the squad of players we've got, we should go on to win it. But it didn't really matter who we were going to get in the semi-final, home or away. Then again, if you want to win the competition, you've got to beat whoever's left in it. We were going to play them eventually. So, yeah, it will be interesting. Like what we were touching on there, will Lincoln put out a strong side considering they're top of the table at the moment? Then again, Lee Johnson, he's in a phase at the moment where he's not afraid to chop and change things in his team as well. So will he want to do that for that fixture? Who knows? But listen, I know our home record's been poor this season, but it's in a different competition. Anything can happen. Let's just win the game and then get through to Wembley in an empty stadium. Heartbreaking for that final of the Papa John's Trophy.
Yeah, but you'll be watching out your bedroom window, won't you?
I'm 25-minute drive away, but no, I'll be staying safe.
Terry, have you got your hotel booked?
Of course not. Nobody's going to Papa John's Trophy final at the end of the day. You have to sneak in through the sewers if you want to get in there. Unless you've got a VIP, unless you're a referee, you have access to referees.
Oh, yeah.
Get you a pass into the final, possibly. Maybe, I don't know. But Lincoln is the best team in the league at this moment in time. It will be the hardest match. But at the end of the day, you've got to beat all the teams to win the cup. So bring it on, I say.
Right, fair enough. Lincoln at home. I think a lot of us the other night said we was all going for Tranmere and say let's try and. I mean, no disrespect to Tranmere, but I suppose that's got to be the easiest option. Michael, how do you feel about Lincoln at home?
Well, is it bad that I'm not confident because it's at home? I think I would have felt more confident if it was actually at the Sincil Bank Stadium or whatever it's called now. Like you said, Tranmere would have been the preferred option. Doesn't mean it would have been easy. It just would have been preferable out of the other ones because they did beat Peterborough in the last round. I'm going to probably burst the bubble even further. To be honest, I think we'll get beat. I think we'll get beat in that just because I think whoever the away team was would have had a better chance. And so I think it's probably... So sorry, I think it's going to be an Oxford-Lincoln final.
Really?
When you dominate everyone.
I mean, to be fair, I hadn't really thought about it until Dino said, but the chances are Lincoln won't want to risk their team. I mean, as with us, I mean, promotion's priority over this cup. but I mean they're right up there in amongst it, and this trophy competition will not be high on their list considering where they are. Jack, what do you think to Lincoln at home?
I mean, look, it's probably the toughest fixture out of them all. I mean, we're simply better away from home than we do at home anyway. And Lincoln, of course, between Lincoln and Oxford, I think Oxford. I don't think people are giving Oxford as much credit because with how their form is. I know they're a lot lower in the league, but with how the form is, I wouldn't want to play them either. But you know, if you want to win the competition, then you've got to be willing to beat any team. And what happens if we get Tranmere? If we were to get Tranmere and the other two are playing a semi-final, then we'll get them in the final. Well, then you've got to beat them then. So you've got to beat them at some point. We're into the semi-final now. If this was in the first round, it'd be different. But we're into the semi-final, so we've got to be willing to beat the best teams. And if we beat Lincoln now, there's only Oxford left out of the other two that can really challenge us. Because I think, with all due respect to Tranmere, I do think we would sweep them aside quite easily, considering how we seem to battle them every other time. I've not taken this tournament very seriously at all until right now, but I would be now. I would be. Look, I think now, like, we're on the brink of winning it. I can see Michael wants to get in. Like, now we're on the brink of winning it. I think I would start taking it seriously because you're only 2 games off however much money you can get in a trophy as well. Go on, Michael. I can see you trying to get in.
I was going to say, wouldn't it be quite funny if we won the semi-final, Tranmere beat Oxford, and then James Vaughan scores the winner against us at Wembley?
Oh,
not being funny. Would that not be the most Sunderland thing on the planet?
Yeah,
it literally would.
Cheers for reminding us, Michael, as well.
Yeah, that would be typical Sunderland. Especially how we disrespected Tranmere, really saying, we'll brush them aside, get the final, and then they go and beat us in the final. That would be typical Sunderland. All right, we are running out of time, so very quickly, we got Tuesday night in the league. We're away at Shrewsbury, 7:00 kickoff. I'll tell you what, I'll take a score prediction from you first, Dino.
What's this for the checker trades?
No.
Shrewsbury.
Oh, Shrewsbury. Is that home or away?
Away.
2-1 Sunderland.
Glad you would. 2-1 Sunderland. Right, okay. Jacob?
2-1 to the lads. Keep the faith.
Why do you keep copying off me? That's 2 weeks in a row you've copied off me, Jacob.
Copying homework.
He's a follower.
It's just a score prediction, man.
Mad mistake. Shrewsbury versus Sunderland. Now
he's going to predict a loss.
Unbeaten.
Shrewsbury 1, Sunderland 8. Sorry, I mean 3.
8.
Nice 3-1.
Even that's still a surprise.
Well, I think we'll be better with them away. Like Jack.
Well,
prediction?
I'm going to say 2-1 Sunderland as well, but I predicted this earlier this morning, so I'm not a follower.
What you saying? 2-1.
Oh, sorry, Jacob.
That's 3 with 2-1. Michael Bowers. What you've normally got your feet on the ground. What do you think for Tuesday?
1-0 loss. I think it's going to be.
Terry's doing like.
Do you know?
Really?
What? Would it honestly shock you if we lost to Shrewsbury or didn't beat Shrewsbury, but then went and beat Doncaster next Saturday? It's Sunderland.
Bowers, forget these scenarios. Focus on our team, man.
Well, I don't care, Jacob.
Dear.
Go on, lads.
Reverse psychology. I'll say we'll get beat. There you go. It's not reverse psychology at all.
Right.
You're copying off CONRAD that time.
I'm going to go. We're all saying we'll concede, but I think we'll be all right. I think I'll go for a nice, comfortable 2-0 win. I think we're away from home, so I think, we'll do better than we did against them when we played up here. So I'm going for a 2-0 win. We all agree this is far more important than the Papa John's.
Yeah.
We're sitting in 7th place, games in hand over Charlton. I'd like to quickly... Playoffs are definitely guaranteed for us, surely, aren't they, Michael?
Wouldn't go as far as guaranteed, but playoffs definitely cannot be written off. Top 2, I think, is written off, though, unfortunately.
2, 1 Sunderland. 2-1 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 Sunderland. 2-1
The thing is on Tuesday,
Nah,
we'll play against Lincoln when we play Shrewsbury. But every time we have a chance to close the gap, we never take it. So,
yeah, that's true. Mad mistake. Top 6, surely that's definitely on in it.
I'm going to say 70-30. 70-30 for the playoffs. If we don't make the playoffs, then we're absolutely shite. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
New players will come in. Jones will come in, and you've got Jones on one side, possibly Diamond on the other side. Go 4-4-2.
It's what we said, though. Still early days for Lee Johnson, and the team are only going to get better. For me,
he hasn't had it easy as well.
I think top two still on for me. Jack Dodds, top 6 definitely.
Top 6 is still definitely on, and anyone who doesn't think I can't say why people can't see us at least finishing the top 6. Don't get us wrong, we can still finish outside of it, but top 6 is absolutely still on. I even think top 2 is on. We just need to get into that run. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if we do, Johnson hasn't had it easy, and from what I can see, there are a lot of positives to take. If we can get on a good kind of 10-15 game run of winning a lot of games, and I think the way to do that is keep clean sheets, which we do seem to have the ability to do. We can always nick a goal with the great form Wykes in and the other players around him and score goals. I can see us collect many points and really climb the table. So to me, top 6 is definitely on. I'll be quite surprised if we didn't finish in at least the top 6, and I even think top 2 is still on. I don't think we'll go to the top 2, but I still think it's that. I think we're going to, at the moment, I think we're going to finish around 4th, 5th.
Right, still a lot of time left. We're running out of time here, so quickly, go on, Sarri, quickly jump in.
Did you paint your own bedroom? Because those lines are really straight. Fantastic artwork.
It's a flag, Terry.
I have all the questions to ask.
It's his school ruler. He used his school.
I thought it was wallpaper, sorry.
It's the school ruler. He used his school ruler. Right, Jacob, very quickly. Top 6 definitely on. Keep it quick.
Yeah, 100% on. Top 2, not for me. Top 6, yeah, we're on. It'll be close.
Right, okay. Right, Dino, definitely on for top 6. Aren't we, Dino? We're definitely on for top 6, aren't we?
We're not. Sorry, we're not. we're not consistent enough. I've said from the start of the season I didn't think the squad was good enough, and we're not consistent. Simple as that.
Right, okay then, no bother. Right, look, that just about wraps it up. Thank you very much for watching the show tonight. Don't forget, we are back with a live stream of the Shrewsbury game on Tuesday, and the lads will be back for another Thursday night live. So from myself, Philly, from Dino, from Jacob Kirkbride down south, from Michael Bowers, from the Mad Mistake, and from Jack Dodds, we just want to say, oh!